As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Hello, my beautiful people of YouTube. You want to get up here, or would you like to not be walking around down there? Come on, get up here. Come on. Delilah, come on. There you go. Okay, we got the star of the show now. We got the star of the show. We can start. Good afternoon, everyone. I have been pillaring. Yes, thank you guys. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. We're starting fairly early. We're not going through a huge intro because of the simple fact we went through an intro this morning. So I try to make it quick and easy when we slide into our afternoon or evening shows. Eeyore Blues, it's nice to see you. Priscilla, good afternoon. Melanie, Dawn. What is this? Christy, it's nice to see you. Just wanted to say I think you're all. Thank you. You're so sweet. The Real Me Too. Grave Crime with Grace. It's nice to see you. Our beautiful Oma is up in the house. Stephanie, it's nice to see you. Forever 71, P&L, Forever 71. Thank you for the thumbs up. Rebecca, it's nice to see you. Janine, hopefully I got your name. I'm bad with names. Tinks, Lisa B. Always. Peggy, it's nice to see you. The hen house is up in the house. Too tired to play. Brenda, it's nice to see you. Cinderella. Girlie, it's nice to see you. Tina, hello. Bobby, Lisa, Kendra. Oh, Chaos is here. It's nice to see you, love. Laura, Kay Kelly, it's nice to see you. Oh, Cajun. Hey, honey, I hope you're doing well. Stephanie, it's nice to see you. Prayer Warrior, Denise, good afternoon to the beautiful Mod Squad. B. Betty fan is up in the house. Texas Life, Julie. Butterfly Kisses, it's nice to see you. Lisa, I think I said Prayer Warriors. Maybe I didn't. I can't remember. Oh, Karen's up in here. Karen Branch, Connie Branch. Well, I shouldn't say Karen Branch. I don't know what your last name is. But your sister, Connie Branch, was a strong supporter of the Bullhorn Betty channel until she... Anyways, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're having a great day. West Virginia, holla, girl. Holla back, y'all. It's nice to see you, VA. Tear Bear, Decor and More. Tammy, Hindsight, I got a little, I think I pulled something from you. I can't remember if I did or not, but I wanted to thank you because I was able to finally send that 43-minute video you did a couple months ago over to my attorney. So that I just wanted to tell you thank you for that. Lisa, it's nice to see you. Oh, Gypsy Doll is in the house. Caroline, Natalie, it's nice to see you. Me and you. MJ, good afternoon. Nana's Dragonfly. Hey, 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 hey. I got it right. Good. Oh, it's so hard. It's so hard sometimes, Luna. And not only that, you're live. So even if you weren't live, and you'd probably have no problem. It's just like you're live. So naturally you're going to mess up, right? So it's nice to know that. Sharon, it's nice to see you. Nona Joy. Sorry. Linda. Mickey Shell's up in the house. Terry. Cajun Lulu, it's nice to see you and everybody else coming in. It's great to have you here. We're not going to have a whole lot because we got most of the stuff done. We read The Language of Letting Go this morning. We watched some of the other news in the area. So I'm really just going to jump right on in. There's just one update that I wanted to provide to you. And this actually goes in, it's not related to the Sebastian Rogers case, but it is. So, and this is related to the fires. I don't know if you guys knew one of has some problems, but he was a child star. I really don't remember him, honestly. He's 34 years old, but he was a child star that lost his life. And I wanted you guys to see his mom, because again, it goes right kind of with our behavior, right? I like to teach people and show people, yes, people grieve differently. There's no doubt about it. But it still happens. Like, we have no urgency from the mom. We have nothing here. I'm not going to go through a dissertation. You guys know how I feel, but I wanted you guys to see this because it's quite sad. Granted, hers is deceased, but still, an emotional mom is an emotional mom. Right? She wasn't to the point of Riley Strain's mom. She's hurting. You can see it in her face. But, as painful as it is to watch, she's showing real emotion. Real emotion is not controlled. Okay? Real emotion, you can't put in check. When you are hurt and you are devastated, that is not controlled. You have no control over it. So I just thought I would show you that. We're going to get into more details. This is until we get some overlaid maps. If you guys see of any overlaid maps from the maps I was talking about, I know somebody was going to see if Mob Crew could do the maps, and I posted the links the other day. I'd like to get back to the maps. I'd like to spend and focus time on the maps, but until we get there, people have still been digging into this and still digging into different interviews and different situations. Now, we've been watching a lot. Lauren from Facebook, I've been monitoring her account. And, of course, she has some new videos up. They're mostly reading videos. So I'm going to stop them and read them to you as they come up, because here it is. And these are interesting. We also have another piece of interesting news, to say the least, related to something early on that really wasn't caught, or if it was caught, we were unaware of it at the time. And maybe we talked about it and just forgot we talked about it. But there's some, sorry, I keep popping out of here. Sorry. It stopped. There we go. So I can get it big. So this is the cover up part 1. I'm going to read this stuff to you as it comes out. We're going to get through this section, which is 4 videos. We're going to stop, and then I'll come back over here to the chat room. I'm not monitoring the chat room, y'all. Be kind to one another. Debate the issues, not the people. I don't care where you come from, who you are, whatever, however you feel. The only requirement is don't be disrespectful. Don't be a Richard, and everything will be just fine, right? You start getting snarky, you start getting nasty to people. That's a good way to get thrown out of the chat permanently. I'm kind of a zero tolerance place. So it's very difficult once you get on the block list to ever get off. Please consider that. I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. It's just that I have to control my chat. If you guys would like to chat and be part of the conversation, you're more than welcome. Just treat one another with courtesy and respect and debate the issues. No insulting one another is going to be allowed in the chat. Okay? All right. Now that we got the ground rules done, let's get into this. Cover up part 1. On 3/13/2024, Nick Barris releases a video believed to show 2 people with flashlights in the area of the Proudfoot home. (3/13/2024), Nick Barris also adds the camera is facing towards the Proudfoot's backyard. Here we go. The agency also warned people against sharing surveillance video online, noting it could be misinterpreted. On 3/20, Chris tells Smiley's Story World that scent dogs tracked to the construction site and the retention pond, where the scent disappears, poof. Police also said search dogs had not been able to pick up a scent trail of Rogers, for Rogers rather. 3/21/2024, Chris tells Terry Lynn that the scent dogs tracked to the construction site and the retention pond where the scent disappears. "5 days and nothing, and dogs have not picked up any scent of the boy." On 3/25/2024, Chris tells Nancy Grace that the scent dogs tracked to the retention pond, adding Ellie has spoken directly with him and showed him a few things. March 4th, but the fact that he disappeared without a trace has authorities looking the very real possibility of foul play. There is no security video of the teen walking away. Bloodhounds picked up no scent, and there is no trace of Sebastian. Ken Widener added that the search and rescue dogs had not been able to pick up a scent. None of the scent dogs picked up a trace of Sebastian. There was a glimpse of hope Thursday, February 29th, as search dogs tracked a scent, but it turned out to be a false alert. With the information that I've gotten from Sumner County and TBI, and the fact that the dogs aren't 100%, they're not picking up his scent, he added. One dog tracked him to a construction area over there, and it just disappeared, and it's confusing. There's a missing piece. There's missing pieces to the puzzle. On March 27th, 2024, TBI meets with Chris, Katie, and Seth. Seth cannot discuss many details, but apparently was given an explanation for the flashlight video. Mr. Rogers said that this is nonsense and the lights were, in fact, trash collectors. On April 2nd, 2024, TBI spokesperson gives a statement essentially discouraging anyone from discussing Sebastian's disappearance unless they personally knew him. TBI spokesperson Susan Nyland said some of those tips were related to misinformation and rumors being spread on social media. She asks that the community continue to share information, but about things like conversations people may have had with the missing teen, where he liked to go, and any people he may have mentioned that are in his life. On April 9th, 2024, Narcotic Diver release a phone call they received from Chris. What he tells them about the scent dogs is quite different than what he said previously. Now, this is going to be a little hard because they're going to start showing the, the next one. They're going to start showing the, but there's no volume to it. So there's no volume to it. So we have to read it. So I'm just going to say there is one video. There's 4. We're going to the second one right now. And then the third, and then the fourth, and then we're going to stop and discuss this because I think this is pretty interesting. You know, we've heard all this stuff about the dog tracking and information like that. But if we rewind and go back, guess what? Only one person was pushing that narrative that the dogs picked up a scent. Only one person. Is that a clue? Let's find out. Let's find out. Sorry. 4/9/2024. I think we read this from there. Chris called and they were Narcotic Divers released a phone call they received from Chris. What he tells them about the scent is quite different than what he has previously said. If you're looking at my house, on the right-hand side, the dogs went all the way down the side of the house along the fence. And went all the way back up into the yard. Then it cuts diagonally to the house next door to us through their backyard. And that is the directions the dogs take off. Then after that, that is where they get over to the main road, go up Kellen, and head over to the other subdivision. And this depicts, I know it's small on your end, but this depicts the image that Gray Hughes prepared. Where did Chris learn all this information? Remember, when this happened, he wouldn't have been home at the time. So how did he learn all of this? Okay, so this is the Narked Diver call. Like I said, there's no volume to these. It's just the pictures and the CC on here. And it says, didn't know that. Yes, sir. Sir, that is actually information that was told to me by Lost. Yeah, so they actually, because I went on a me and law enforcement, they put me in a vehicle, drove around, showed me a bunch of stuff from LE on their exclusive VIP car ride around the area. When did he learn of this information? He still didn't need, Oh, sorry, I missed one. Hold on, let me go back just a little bit. Sorry. It says, better dog. Yeah, those two were probably, better ones. Now the guy can't remember. This guy called him Michael. Hold on. Better one. This guy can't remember. I called him Michael, but I think they called him Mitchell or Michelle. Within the first 8 days, because he was there to meet the handlers and mispronounced his name. I mean, how many? Yeah, a lot of dogs. Day one, there was 5. Day one. But when did Seth learn of this information? It's been 50 days since Sebastian gone missing. No scent from trail dogs. That's highlighted. No video footage of Sebastian leaving his mother's house, yet no criminal investigation at all by TBI or Sumner County's office. And that was what Seth stated on the record. So clearly he knew there were no scent from the scent dogs, yet Chris was perpetuating this statement over and over again for months. Why? On April 17th, Seth still knew nothing of the scent trail both Chris and the police had known about from day one, allegedly. The day before Seth made those statements, however, April 16th, Heather Cohen appeared on a panel with some intel on the lights video. Not a very good video. She was supposed to be looking for Seth. And I got this information from this great PI that's working the case. And there were floodlights. They have determined that they were floodlights. Again, this is why I don't work with internet PIs. Not flashlights. But, I'm not a fan of Chloe or Heather. Let's go back. It said they were floodlights, not flashlights. And that, then it says 4/18/2024. Chris calls into Gray Hughes. Now that Heather Cohen has come out just 2 days earlier claiming the lights were determined to be floodlights, Chris clarifies to Gray Hughes that one light is a floodlight and the other is a trash truck. He also feels the need to explain the full path the scent dogs took, as if he knows very well that the lights and the scent path are directly related. He explains that the scent goes along his fence, cuts through the backyard towards the street, then goes up Kellen to the retention pond. And then there again is the Gray Hughes shot that he created based upon what Chris had told him. Why was Sebastian sent in the retention pond, but not Sebastian? Is it possible someone stood over him and drowned him in the pond before moving him to another location? Who would have been in the pond? Oh, this is Terry Lynn. Let me go back just. I don't want to take it back too much. Directions, some headed over. Let's see if I can get it just a little bit further. Nope, that's it. So it says directions, some headed over in this construction. Construction takes it down to the retention pond, which is only, oh, this is interesting, guys. Listen to this. Which is only what? Knee deep. Did you see that? Knee deep. Knee deep. Right here. The pond, which is only knee deep. This is an important, in my opinion, interesting statement. And here's why. Because when you talk to law enforcement, sorry, I got to catch up. I don't know what's running in the background. Obviously, there's some type of, there's something I've got open that's running commercials. Or it might be the ticky tock, not ticky tock, the X. That's how Hong calls it, the ticky tock. I don't know what's running. My lips are not paired. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can stop some of this stuff. It's all of this TikTok or this X crap. I guess if there's videos on the X, they just let it run behind the scenes, slowing everything down. Let me see if I can just stop some of it. Okay. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. Let's see if that helps things at all. Probably not. I got a lot of stuff running on Twitter. So it is what it is. Let me just, this is driving me nuts. So we're just going to talk like this. We're just going to talk like this for a while until I get through some of this stuff. Why is that important? That statement that we saw here that says knee deep. Knee deep. So let me put that up there. Why is that important? Because when you talked, oh, hey, Jules, it's nice to see you, love. Whenever you're talking about depth with law enforcement, they typically use feet. 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters, right? They use metrics. How would Chris know how deep it is by his body parts? Knee deep? How would he know that the retention pond is knee deep? This is very concerning. Knee deep. He was very specific. It says the pond, which is only knee deep. It's interesting term of words. Not that it's shallow, not that it's, a few feet. He was confident in knowing that that pond was only knee deep. And you can see it was on Terry Lynn's channel, so you might want to go over there and check that out. Last time I checked, her interview with him was put behind a members only. If she's out there, I hope she releases it to the public so we can review it. It's an important interview, and nobody else puts their interviews like this behind paywalls. So I hope that maybe she'll consider moving that back to the public view, at least for a week or something, so we can, either download it so we can review it, because that has a lot of information. It's an interview, right? People need to have access to interviews. She has access to everybody else's interview. It's only, anyways, I made my piece on that. So hopefully she does do that. Trying to figure out, I was like, I don't know how shallow it was before or after. Yeah. I'm 5 foot, and it was okay. So they even drained it. So this says, although it's not fully picked up by the captions, Chris tells Naked Diver, I'm 5'9", and it was knee deep. Again, this is the second person he references knee deep as a metric for how deep this retention pond is. Okay, make sure I've got, okay, I do got you on all on here. Hold on, let me move this back. Yeah, I'm trying to give you guys as much because these are, it looks like it's portrait how it's recorded. Did Sebastian fight for his life as CP held him underwater? It's a plausible question. It's a plausible question. I'm sorry, it's not letting me stop. Hold on. As everyone, including Seth, struggles to make sense the bits and pieces of convoluted information on the scent trail. Only one person seems to understand it all with perfect clarity. And knew exactly where the water level reached on his own 5'9" frame in the pond dogs have dove into while tracking Sebastian's scent. At least 3 different times in different conversations, Smiley, Terry Lynn, and Naked, Chris mentions that the retention pond is only knee deep. Chris even goes as far as to clarify that he doesn't know how full the pond was before or after Sebastian's disappearance. Okay, here it is. You can hear it barely.
And the this point in time is no deeper than my knees.
Is no deeper than my knees. He only knows how full it was at that specific time. Interesting. Mob Crew made several videos on this topic, at least one of which questions the order of events. And it looks like Hindsight 2002 also captured some of the Mob Crew's clips. At one point, they theorized that a vehicle may have come from the retention pond, drove down Kellen, and stopped at the corner to let people with flashlights out. Who then walked through the backyards to Sebastian's house to collect him and return to the vehicle. Again, this is the same one we just saw. The order of events in this theory is pond, Kellen, house, yard, vehicle. Interesting. Order of events. Pond, then Kellen, then house, then yard, then vehicle. However, Chris is certain the order of events is house, yard, road, vehicle, Kellen, pond. He repeated the scent trail in the exact order to Narcotic Diver, Gray Hughes, and later on the panel with Chlamydia. Although he hints that there was more to the scent trail during the Web Sleuths interview on April 26, he quickly follows that up with, but it's all unreliable. Even going so far as to say dogs aren't 100% honest and dogs are only reliable about 25% of the time. But what do other sources say about the accuracy of scent dogs? Scent detection dog research study, and this was from 2009, reviewed the results of 12 different detection tasks, including cancer detection, scat detection, termite detection, and bomb detection. He found that search dogs found and correctly identified the target scent 91.61% of the time. There was a glimpse of hope Thursday, February 29th, as search dogs tracked a scent, but it turned out to be a false alert. At scent detect, find, it says false positive indications are extremely rare occurrence. Extremely rare occurrence. April 17th, 2024, Seth announces he has hired 2 new PIs. Around this same time, items of interest were found by a searcher. And it says, it would be huge if I had a tip for several weeks about people seeing Cathy Bowersox car that morning before Sebastian, and that was the conversation about the step-grandmother being at the Worshams. So Hopefully I'm going to be getting rid of some of these things. Maybe my lips will match up. Now that I'm done with one, I can move on to the other. It's nice to see you guys. Wow, interesting. Interesting, guys. Have you answered the poll question yet? Have you answered the poll question yet? Horsham's Beach Storage. Interesting, Caroline. I think you've been on those storage units, but I don't know. I know people have brought those storage units up. I know you guys have brought those storage units up before, but I haven't had an ability to check those sources out. So now comes the time for our poll. Get over there and answer the poll. If you haven't already answered the poll, you need to be answering the poll because I'm going to be closing it down in like 60 seconds. So the question is Chris intentionally lying about the dog's scent? We have 621 votes right now. I'm going to give it until 4:13, and we are going to close out the polling for Sebastian, that question for Sebastian. Somebody remind me with like stop signs when it's already 4:12. So when it gets to 4:13, let me know. Betty, my theory from the very beginning, because it was the closest convenient place to pull it off. Interesting. Why do you think Crabtree said Cathy was seen at Worsham's? That's weird, in my opinion. I don't know. Did he say she was or wasn't? Because I've been hearing people have been trying to state that that's not true. But I think what the public doesn't know is that like 5 or 6 people have come forward with the same recollection or damn near the same recollection from that morning. That's going to be hard, and the excuse was that Chris called his mother. But we have eyewitnesses putting his mom out there in front of the house like around 7:30, and she made a post a few months ago saying she didn't show up until 10:30. Well, that's been disputed by several neighbors. They didn't, and they even say we didn't know who she was. We didn't know who she was, but now that we know who they all are, we specifically know that's the person. They should dig it up. Should dig what up? SBE teacher says Edgar lies all the time. Everything that comes out of his mouth, you could tell he's lying. Everything. Even that Hands interview, you could hear him stutter on stuff. And to me, that is a little odd. Okay, we're at 4:13. Let's close out the poll. We have 600. I'll tell you once I close it out. Okay, we just ended the poll. So is Chris intentionally lying about the dog scent? And 78%, we had 668 votes. 78% says yes. 21% says no, he's not. So we've got probably about a 3/4 split, a little above 3/4 split into the yes category. Now the question is, why would he be lying about the scent dogs? What purpose does that have? Why would he and he alone be the only one talking about the scent tracking Sebastian, and law enforcement, the father, the other professionals like Ken Widener says there's no scent. There was no scent. So why would somebody lie about a scent being there when everybody from law enforcement to the child's biological father saying there's no scent? BHB, my theory from the very beginning. Okay. It's the closest convenient to pull it off. Why do you think Crabtree said Cathy was at Worsham's? Said Cathy was seen at Worsham's. That's weird because there's 6 people that say that she was there. Have you shown my artwork? No, I haven't. Let me pull that up while we're here. I don't want to dox you, so I got to try to do it a different way. Give me just a second. This is a painting. Oh, I can show it just like this. So this is a painting right here that Andrea did. And I love it. It's got that silver background with the heart that pops. Team Sebastian. And it really just kind of brings us back to what this should be really all about. Team Sebastian. But for whatever reason, people think in order to be Team Sebastian, you're not allowed to have an opinion. They're allowed to have an opinion. They're allowed to do horrible things to an innocent father. But we're not allowed to have an opinion on where the facts are leading us. Either way, I think no matter what side of the aisle you're on, if you're truly here for Team Sebastian, then you care about his well-being, care about him coming home safely. And that's really, really what we need to get back to. I love this. I think this really, really, really stands out. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful to me. So as soon as I get it, I'm going to be downloading that and I'll post it in Justice for Sebastian. Andrea said that all this artwork is up for everybody to use if you so choose. Okay. So where are we? This is another one. This is another tidbit of information that I remember hearing about, but we didn't dive into it. And does this mean something? Oh, wait, let's open it. Let me read the rest of these, and then we're going to talk about what we just got done watching. Chloe, the PI, had 6 witnesses that saw Cathy at Warsham's that morning before 6 a.m. Don't talk about his truck. Let's talk about his truck. See, 6 people I heard seen her vehicle there allegedly. Yes. It says, I can bet my bottom dollar she was at Warsham's waiting for a signal from Edgar. Well, there was absolutely calls made prior to the law enforcement, and that bothers me very, very much. Because on all their interviews, they try to act like upstanding people. As soon as we realize, this is the right thing to do, we called law enforcement immediately. When you and I hear immediately, we're thinking within seconds or minutes. That's what immediate to many of us is, right? That's what to many of us it is. And we find out that it was over 30 minutes later. That's not immediate. That's just not. The thing is, Warsham's didn't open until 7 a.m. They were there at 6. No, they were there before 6. We had somebody state that he thinks it was earlier than 5:45. He says he believes that he drove by there, I think at 5:30, 5:35. I can't remember the exact. I'm trying to memorize what I heard said on the recording. But this guy, it was before 5:45 in his opinion that she was there. And actually the recording even said he called Cathy out, and Cathy tried to argue with him that it wasn't her. And he actually, I can't remember, but there's something. There was something. CB said on Facebook she didn't get there until 10:30. Because we had the neighbors. The neighbors had already told us what time they saw her out in the front of the yard. I believe she was at the store. I mean, why would so many say it otherwise? Yes. And the first lady that brought it up, she's a local. She knew the person that had trail cameras. She was reaching out to the person with the trail. Like, she absolutely believes she saw her there and wanted to prove it because she didn't want to become called a liar. And she said she was going to post those videos, and she never did. So I think she found the videos because she didn't talk about that anymore. I think she found the videos and turn them over to law enforcement and just let the story take its, and just move on from that, which many people did. And we've never seen the videos, but there's so many people that have come forward since then saying they saw the same exact thing. So it's becoming a little harder and harder to say that it wasn't her. This is a small community. Everybody knows everybody. People knew who that lady was and saw her sitting in a car. It's what's been told to me. And again, it's not from one person. It's from multiple people. By the sixth person, I'd say that has to be corroborated at that point. I think Mama Socks is the one that was three-way with L.E. It might have been. I don't know who was all on the phone. But I know they weren't the first call, which, again, for many of us is pretty shocking. Because that's all he does, in my opinion. CP family has spoken and blamed, didn't like Sebastian, blatantly didn't like Sebastian, but so many people should go to court with Seth. Oh, there will be plenty of people with Seth where we're all going to be supporting. I thought Seth said CB was there at the house when he arrived. Well, he did give me a very detailed interview. Maybe we need to listen to it. I'm pretty sure I asked the question. I can't remember. And I believe that on his own live, on his own channel, Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father channel on YouTube, I think that the very first live they did, maybe 2 months ago, it was like he had been off YouTube for a while, and then it's the first one in a really long time that he did. Tony basically asked him a bunch of questions. Josh the Lab was on there as well. And I think that they may have answered that question, CC. If you want to hear it directly from Seth verbatim, how he said it, go to Seth's YouTube channel and watch it, because I remember him. They had a discussion on this. I remember that. I don't remember what was said. That's the way my brain works, right? I can tell you where it is. I can't tell you where in the video they discuss it, but I remember exactly which one it was. I just don't remember what was said. So I don't want to misspeak, and I will refer you over there to that video. It was the first one. Like Seth did the 1 or 2 videos like months ago, and it had been months and he didn't do any lives. And it was the first live that he did after like the sabbatical period. Prayer Warrior says, in my opinion, we should focus on the opposite of whatever CP says. That probably is correct. Oh. I know we're at the top of the hour. I'm not going to bend your ears too long, but there is, I'm going to switch topics. Let me see if there's anything in here. I'm watching a video of him speaking on the marks on his arms for the first time. Yeah, he says it's the dogs. I get confused about the dogs. They're Morkies. I get confused about the dogs because police said they didn't track anything anywhere, but CP says there was. Well, it's confusing because the dogs picked up a scent. Max picked up a scent. He was the dog that lunged into the retention pond. But it doesn't necessarily mean he was running on Sebastian's scent. My understanding is Max is a ground disturbance dog. He's not a scent dog. He doesn't take the scent in and isolate that scent and follow that scent. He's more, did somebody run away type of thing, where he's looking at ground disturbance and movement of earth to follow a path. That is my understanding of it. I could be wrong in some respects, but that's what we kind of went over this. Jules is in the chat right now. She would be better equipped to answer that question related to the dogs. But apparently there was something that did happen. The confusion was, as many people just assumed that dog was following Sebastian's scent. But it is determined because they did use a scent dog, and the scent dog probably didn't follow that scent for Sebastian at all. That's when they determined that wasn't his scent. That, again, just an assumption of mine, just trying to play the tape through and figure out how we got here. That would be my observation and what I feel. Now, like I said, Jules is in here. She might say, no, Betty's wrong. Betty's completely wrong. This is what it is. I would trust Jules as opposed to me. Okay. I only know limited information about any type of dogs, and it's the stuff that we've learned on Google. Okay. Jules, she's a dog handler. She has a scent and search dog. She understands what goes into it. She understands how it works. She understands the biology and the dogs behind it. I do know that what I did learn about the scent dogs when I was studying them is that they have like things in their nose, right? So they actually collect scent in their nose, and then they follow that scent. They don't need to constantly be going back to the scent. They get the scent, it's captured in their nose, and then they try to find that scent. So that's as much as I know about dogs. Oh, thank you, Maggie. Good deductions. Yeah. Betty, in my opinion, this proves his theory. He's trying to promote that someone abducted Sebastian. Well, they tried to say he ran away. They have not been promoting the abduction theory. Nobody's been promoting this abduction theory. Not law enforcement, not them. The only time we had a semblance of abduction was when the Amber Alert was issued. And that concerned all of us. But I don't think anyone, because they've been pushing that he ran away. They did not want, let me adjust this a little bit. They did not want the investigation that went along with the abduction theory, in my opinion. I think that's exactly why they chose to mark him as a runaway. I mean, think about it. Why would any parent just automatically assume their child ran away when their child has never ran away before? Most parents that are dealing with a first-time runaway child that seemingly was fine, they're screaming, somebody took my baby, somebody took my baby. And it's usually law enforcement that sits the parents down and say, well, you know, we went through her text messages and we found out that she was planning on running away for a while. We're tracking her location now. Hopefully we'll have her home, you know, by this evening. But, you know, that's kind of how, you know, people don't just automatically assume that their child that went to sleep at night in their home that has never ran away before. And this is according to the parents. This child has never ran away before. And then all of a sudden, he's going to wake up in the middle of the night and just decide today's the day without any money, any food, any clothes, any electronics. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know. I think there is a possibility, but if there is a possibility of abduction, it's a very close to home abduction, in my opinion. This kid knew nobody. Nobody. He had maybe 2 friends at school. His parents did not let him go out and play. He didn't have friends that came over and hung out with him. He didn't really go anywhere, and he had no contact with anybody outside of their family. Also, whatever happened with the mattress, that was there next to Worsham's, along with knife or knives that they found. We knew that a mattress had been in the garage because he admitted that on the Nancy Grace show. But we never heard if anything was ever done with that mattress. Could it have been the one that was seen at Worsham's or behind Worsham's? Maybe. In my opinion, everybody remembers that some kind of plastic being found. Oh, the hat found in the retention pond. Yeah, that narco diver. I could have sworn, I was questioning that too. And I could have sworn somebody said they found the location, but that was through the grapevine. You know, I can't even remember who told me that the owner of the hat came forward and it was a searcher or something like that. But that could have been a lie. It could have been misinformation just to throw people off, because I don't remember where that came from. Batgirl, it's nice to see you. Y'all, my husband and I went out to Monster Truck Show over the weekend, and we saw at least 3 kids who could have easily passed for Sebastian. It's crazy how many kids look like him. Told ya, Batgirl. Thank you for being part of the challenge. That's important because that's kind of what I, started noticing around my community too, just how many people. And it went back, this whole conversation and this whole challenge went back to everybody, thinking they saw Sebastian and putting children on. I mean, I know they're trying to help. Don't get me wrong. I'm not criticizing them trying to help, find Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. It's just that, we're also kind of, even though they're in a public place, they're still minor children, right? And we try at our very best to keep minor children off YouTube. Sometimes things just pop up. You're showing a photo real quick and they have a child in. It happens. I understand that. But I think we really need to challenge whether we should be putting these multiple children up on social media, being seen by millions of people when there's no conclusive information that it could be Sebastian. My suggestion would be, just hear me out, is if you do see Sebastian or you think you see Sebastian, send that information over to law enforcement. When it's corroborated, then release the information, right? Then release the information. I know if you want to talk about it, you're excited, you might have found him, then just talk about it. You can talk about that you've taken a picture, you've sent it off to law enforcement, you're waiting to hear back, but you just wanted to let people know that you thought you saw Sebastian, and you can put the location. Just don't put the photo. It's a child. And we want to keep all children safe. He's still pushing the narrative that Sebastian left on foot. Yeah, he is. That is much of mine as well. This one says, I think those drains around the house and new construction need to be searched. There's something. And that whole thing that Dog said, about the stormwater drains, those all go into that retention pond. Could he be in a stormwater drain? That goes into that retention pond. It doesn't mean it's right outside his house. It just means that could he have been placed somewhere else in the community that goes into that retention pond? Excuse me. And were those all checked? We have to remember that, good gracious, what is the Corpus Christi kid that was found in the sewage? I just had his name in my brain, and as soon as I went to speak it out of my mouth, it just disappeared. But you guys know which one I'm talking about. And they found him there, and people are saying there's no way he could have gotten in there without being physically put in there. So I'm interested in things like that. Are those areas being checked? Have those sewage stuff? I mean, obviously somebody's wound up in a sewage here just recently. In one of the lift stations. I mean, if it's possible for him to be found in a lift station, are they looking at the stuff that goes to the lift stations? Are they making sure that he can't possibly be there? I don't know. Cathy BS said in some chat that she has proof she left her home at like 10 something, but then says she searched early morning. Yeah, exactly. And remember, her daughter was out there saying that they were out there since 6:30 searching for him. And yeah, she probably did leave her house at 10 o'clock after she went back to her home. Remember, she didn't go immediately there. Something happened that early in the morning. And it sounds like Cathy ended up coming back to the house later, like around 7:30, 8 o'clock. She lived 20-something minutes away. Is it possible? I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities here. Do you know if CP ever worked at Arnold Logistics in the past? I got a reason to ask. Honestly, I don't know. I've never heard that name before, unless unless it's on his LinkedIn account, his resume. I don't know. I wonder how we could find, and maybe past employment history that might be on one of the, I don't know. That's an interesting, never heard of Arnold Logistics. It's the first time I'm hearing it, honestly. So I'd have to say no, but we just don't know him that well. So I don't know. It's possible. I'm telling you that have hide Sebastian, or there's cover up for KP. She heard the thud from his room, but didn't check on that. Yeah, that's weird. That is weird. All right, guys, we're at the top of the hour. I want to thank you guys all for being here, but there's one other tidbit of information that I wanted to show you. Now, you guys know, if I'm going to bring this up, it struck a chord with me. I was going to go over some other stuff. We'll save it for later this evening to go over. And it's more stuff from Lauren on Facebook. If you guys haven't hit up X, I really hope you hit up X, because a lot of stuff is going on X. Now, I know that we're not really a channel. We have our psychics and mediums in this channel, but we don't really talk about them or anything like that. When it comes to these cases, they provide us their opinions, like in emails and in our chats and stuff. But outside of that, it really doesn't go very far from that. Law enforcement, unfortunately, they call in whether they have good information or not. They call in, law enforcement's ears go deaf, right? I've never really, outside of Reverend Donna, because I went out for the Summer Wells case and followed one of her maps and stuff like that, I'm not against any of this at all. It's just I need stuff that's effective that law enforcement will listen to. And because it's not a waste of my time. It just takes time I don't have to get bearings on it. But one of our subscribers here sent this to me by video or by email. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. By email. And so I usually don't watch these or spend time, but it was a trusted member of our group. And so I thought, what the heck, I've got things to do, but I'm going to listen to this, and I'm going to give it my undivided attention, because they said that I can't remember what the email said, but it showed, that they really believe I needed to look at this video. And so I'm like, okay. So I turn it on the computer and I start listening to it. I mean, she has my attention from the very beginning. She starts right with the cards, literally from out the gate, like a minute into it, she starts putting her cards down. This lady recorded this 10 months ago. And one of the things that really perked my curiosity is there's a statement in here where she says they've been trying to find a place for Sebastian for a while. Nobody knew that information. That information has literally just been released in the last few weeks, that, the mom and stepfather were trying, hey, Justin for all, I hope you're doing well. That the mom and stepfather have been trying to find a place for Sebastian to get them out of their home since October 2022. None of us knew that information. This recording right here was over 10 months ago. And when I watched it, guys, I got goosebumps. I really did, because she was spot on with so much information that we now know to be true 10 months later. That we now know to be true. And so while I don't always promote, except if it was Reverend Donna, right? I really don't promote too many psychic readings or anything like that on this channel very much. But again, there are a few that I do like. I don't know who this person is. I don't know the Reckoning Company. All I know is that she understood a lot about her cars, and she knew a lot about this case before certain information was available to all of us. And with that being said, I would recommend for you to go over there and watch this video. It's only 30 minutes. Again, I don't really promote too many of these because my audience, they're there. Some of them are there, some of them are not. Some of them think of this as sacrilegious, so I try to manage the entire audience, right? Because at the end of the day, it's always all hands on deck when it comes to missing people or deceased persons, victims that we cover. So I'll never discourage anything, right? I'll never discourage anything because I truly believe some of the answers come from out of the box places. I've always believed that. I will continue to believe that. So anyways, I don't want to go through this because literally the entire 33 minutes is good. It's good. So please get over there, check this out. I want to discuss this. I don't know if I'll be coming live again tonight, but we will be back. I'm trying to decide whether tomorrow, I don't know if tomorrow, no, I can't. Tomorrow is going to be tricky. We will not be here. Oh, is her name Ashley? Well, she seems very lovely. And she, you know what? And she seems like she didn't want to read what she found. Like you could see it in her face. You could see it, what she was reading and what she was, finding out was really, you could tell by the end of the reading, she appeared to be upset, right? So tomorrow, guys, I was going to come first thing in the morning and do a live, but I forgot what day tomorrow is. It's Tuesday, which means I won't be live until the afternoon. So it will probably be about noon on Tuesday. That's going to be, unfortunately, our new place on every other Tuesday. So I hope you guys, support me in the afternoon. I know it's a little harder because we're so used to 10 a.m. now. But one day a week, we won't be starting until afternoon between 12 and 1. If I can do one really early in the morning, like around 5 or 6, I will. I'll try to do a few, do some videos this afternoon for you guys tomorrow, so you guys won't be without me too much. But we will be doing a very insightful live. We already have some of the context and some of the topic buttons already up here that I couldn't get to today. I actually wanted to go over certain parts of this, but in reviewing this reading, it's very hard because you just can't jump from one part to another part to another part without showing the entire thing because you're missing so much. You're missing so much in the reading. But I just found that this was something that I really, I'm not saying what she's reading is true. I'm just saying it got my interest, if that makes sense. All right, guys, thank you so much. Let me get over. Oh, look at this. I missed all this. FYI, when both Todd and Seth mentioned bringing me in, suddenly CP went from pushing the canine story to canines are only 25% accurate. Wow, interesting. I did not know that. Good deductions. Thank you. Thank you so much, Maggie. It's great to have you here, love. Grave crime with Grace. Dogs mentioned the sewer drain near his home, I believe. Dog mentioned this. He did, but he wanted to do the one right outside of their house. I don't know, if they would have been, if he was in the sewage drains. I personally don't believe they would have walked to the front of their house to do it. I think it would be somewhere down the road. But I want you guys to watch this gal here, and I want you to send me, if you guys watch it and you guys get an opinion, send me your opinions after you watch this to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me. I hope you have a lovely day. Don't forget, Justin for All is in here. Justin for All has a live tonight. what is it, Justin? 7 p.m. We have a live tonight at 7 p.m., I believe. Hold on. He's probably already, I'm on another screen. He's probably already answered the question. I'm still looking it up. Oh, so how it goes. I thought it was set up. Was it on Clutch Them Pearls or Justin for All? I thought you had a 7 o'clock. I could have sworn this morning I saw a 7 p.m. I got to look at this again. I know I'm not going crazy, okay? Maybe a little bit, kind of, sort of. Maybe I am in part for whatever reason. I remember seeing that this morning. Now I'm starting to feel like I'm going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know. I'll have to talk to him, but I could have sworn I saw it. So I think he's going live at 7 o'clock tonight, but I just don't see it anymore. And I even had them put a reminder up for me. So hopefully I'll get the reminder. Let me just go down here. That was yesterday. I could have sworn I saw it this morning though, because I was trying to schedule my day. You're probably right. It was probably yesterday. Huh. I wonder why I came live so early today. I remember the reason why I came live so early today, because I was going to decide whether to do it earlier. So he was here. I did see him come in, but he might be on the phone or doing something. Oh, well, you guys will see it when he goes live. I almost guarantee Justin is doing a project with his son. Aw. Okay. Well, maybe he'll be going live tonight. Maybe he won't. I'm unsure. But if he's not going to be live tonight, we'll monitor it. If there's some place of gap or there's a hate channel on and no good channel for you guys to watch, I will go live. Yes, thank you, B. Betty fan, reminding us where that. Don't forget, Gypsy's got a channel. We got a lot of people in here that support the Bullhorn Betty channel and support Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Please start hitting up the good channels. Keep yourself entertained through the day. So, and knowledgeable, instead of having to go to the crap, and getting involved in all the chaos. Like, who has time for that? Who has time for that? All right, guys, I love you. God bless you. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, y'all, please be safe and what? Kind to one another. All right. See you later. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work, we will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you. God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims.